Okay, now I'm going to tell you a story. The other night I was coming home from a car show and I came over the hill up by the steel place, just before you get to where the Mormon church is, and I met a car that had headlights that were so bright it was like the sun was coming up, except it was coming up in my eyes. And these are my headlights. Now the one on the left is the one that was on this vehicle, and it is a it's got a name written on it here. Well, the other one did. It is a halogen. Says so right there, halogen. Now these were, a few years ago, these were the best bulb you could get for this type of light. Well, that car came over the hill. I was so blind, I could not see anything. And I don't know if I almost hit him or what, but I had the feeling we were about to have a head-on crash, and that made me unhappy. So I went online and I found these headlights, and I found these from Walmart, and I think they were like $30 a pair. In fact, I was so uncertain of that, I thought, well, that must just be for one headlight, because everywhere else I saw them, they were like $70. So I ordered them. I ordered two. Well, I got a total of 4 headlights, because they wasn't $30 a pair, they were $30 per each. So here's my other one right here, which will go in the rat rod over there. So I'll have brand new headlights for both. Now these have a regular old 3-prong plug on the back of them, just like a normal halogen light here, and I'll show it to you. It's made me blind. It's right here. This plugs right into the place where the bulb would normally plug in. It also has 2 extra little side lines. One's red and one's green, and I'm guessing those 2 side lines power this little ring, because this little ring is supposed to light up, and I'm guessing that's supposed to run to the parking lights down here. So I'm going to have to experiment with that a little bit just to see if I can find out what that does and how that does and how to wire that. But the rest of it, as far as the lights go, all it took to wire that is just to plug that one thing into that other thing. And when I make it bright and dim, that should get bright and dim. Let's try that. I believe I just did that, but let's do it again just so I can see it for my own self. So, that's dim. And I don't know if that got any dimmer or not. It does something. I can tell when the other one changes, but I can't on this one. I need a mirror problem, and that's bright. So I'm going to get me a line and run it over here and touch it to that little green and red wire to see if that makes this ring come on. But I suppose for right now I can turn it off. Turn the lights off while I think about what I'm doing. And then, because other than for that, now this thing did say it had built-in turn signals, so I'm guessing, I wonder if the parking lights are the turn signals. See, these are my parking lights down here. So what I'm going to do is just get me a couple pieces of wire. I got a hot wire on the back of my alternator here. I should be able to run a hot wire and a ground wire over here and just touch that and see if that ring lights up. If it does, I'll know that if I run a wire from that parking light up into here and get it inside of there, that'll power that ring. And we'll get some more wire. So the answer is yes. If you run a ground to this green wire and a hot wire to that red wire, and then you touch the hot wire to another hot wire, like I'm touching the wire off the side of the battery, that lights up that ring. Now the only problem with that is I didn't order a ring with an orange loop. I ordered a ring with a blue loop. That ain't supposed to be orange. So I wonder if both of these are that. I could put it in there anyway because I'm not that fussy about it, but I got blue paint on my car and I wanted it to match the blue paint on my car. let's see what the box says here. The box doesn't say nothing. I'm going to cut you all off while I study on this. So I'm guessing what I can do is pull this one off. It doesn't actually have to be plugged in for that ring to work. And test this one. I'm guessing this one's going to be the same color because it came in the same box. But then I've got a second box, and I'll test the second box and see if they both have that orange colored light. I think I can test it without even plugging that other part in. I'll just hook the ground right to here. Get this to, maybe I need to plug it in just to help it sit up there. Do that. Hold it in place. And then lean this right here. Bring this wire around the side over here. I can put the ground on the green like it goes. And then put the red wire on the hot wire. See if it's going to be orange also. And it is, yep. So that may be for a purpose. You know, in Georgia, your parking lights are supposed to be amber colored. They shouldn't advertise it as one that has a blue light. I see them out there running around with colored lights. So I know that they make them. I just don't know why they sent me the wrong color. What I might do is put one in this car, save the other one, see if I can get a return to the right colored light, and then when I do, swap these over to the rat rod. So I don't care about the blue on the rat rod. It's not, it doesn't have any blue trim. And what I could do is just leave them. I mean, I could do without that ring if need be. The main thing I want is some bright headlights. Let's, this box, it doesn't say anything about color. We'll do a quick check on it though. Looks like both these boxes have been beat up a little bit. So it goes through the same grill. Around that one. I'm going to put the hot wire on this one. Maybe for what I paid for it, I ought to just call it good enough, because I didn't think I'd get two lights for the price of one here. And it seemed like I did. Alright, hold your fingers. Yeah, same color. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and put one in this car, because I want to drive this car to the car show soon. Actually, not that soon, next weekend. But I'll put this one back in the box. We'll look into that as far as whether it's possible to return that and get a colored one later. And since those aren't the right color, I don't think I'll even hook up that light. I'll just leave it. I'll just, you know, it's so quick and easy. All I got to do really is plug in one plug here, put my ring back on there, and I'm going to have bright headlights. I'll just leave these things. I can live without them. So really all I have to do is put this back in here, and there are notches just like the regular seal beam. See, this seal beam has notches. You see these notches right here? Well, that matches with these notches right here. So those 3 notches should go here, here, and down there. I got a very tiny little screw that goes to that ring I took off. And when I popped that loose, it slid off. Here it is right here. See this little screw right here? Well, that goes into this little thing right here. So I need that to stay in place while I get this in place. See, that goes I think what I might do is loosen this screw and put that around that. Probably what I should have done was make sure that was plugged in real good and snug, because I realized when I took that out, it looked like it wasn't completely snug as I'd like it to be. Yeah, if we don't look at it, we won't know, will we? Dang. Let's think about this. Yeah, it was a little loose. I should plug that in as snug as I possibly can. I hope it locks in real quick. Now I've dropped my little nut. There it is. There it went again. Dang. There it is. Let's see if I can get it in there without dropping it one more time. Depending on the kind of car you've got, you know, this would be different. Like if you've got a 55 Chevy, you're going to have a different type of ring that you have to get into place. And I don't know if you can see this one, but it's very tiny. It's a very tiny little spot. This little nut, it's a locking nut, a little tiny one goes right here. And then you push this into it. Yeah, I'm good at dropping stuff today. I must have my special stuff dropping skill thing going on. Okay, so now I can roll this around so that this top is up here. And this bulb is still in the right place. And then reach down here and tighten it up like this here. All right, let's test it. And tighten it down. It's good and bright. I like it. I try not to touch this bulb. Some of these bulbs, if you touch them, you'll mess them up. So I tried not to touch it. I hope I succeeded. Pull that off of there now. And I'm going to tighten this a little bit more. It seems to be in there pretty good. You can see this little ring tightening right here if you have good enough eyeballs. What that screw does, just draws that right together there. Alright, now let's do the other side. So if all I'm going to be doing is, just doing that and not wiring in the turn signal, then This should be quick and easy here. Just pop this side off and do that. I have to find a little nut. It's right here. There. Loosen that up. Now that little nut is going to fall out. When it does, this thing will spring loose. I want to catch the nut. I want to lose it. And I could slide it around. Oop, there it goes. There it went. Still got away from me a little bit. Here it is over there. Alright. See, that's what that looks like. See how big that is. That can go right there, and then this whole thing opens, slides off, the whole headlight will come out. Like that. Now see, that one was just barely hooked up anymore. You see that? Yeah. That one's about ready to come loose. I save these old headlights because you can take them fishing. I've got a thing, you could put these headlights in a piece of styrofoam and drop the styrofoam down in the water and the headlight will float and you can use it for a fishing light. That works good. See, this one is going to go right into that one. That's pretty much all there is to that. And then you just have to put this back in and line up these notches. You got these 3 notches here, right here, right here. Go up and get me a shorter handle screwdriver to see if I can get a better grip on that part right there. But that's basically what it looks like, and I don't think it looks bad. I think it looks good. It's kind of cool. Turn the headlights on, we'll have a look at it, and then I'll go get a screwdriver and tighten it. I got one over there that's not working. Dang. I like the looks of that. Oh, I like it. I like it a lot.